Trump's competitors for the GOP nomination rallied around the former president after the Colorado Supreme Court removed him from the state's 2024 primary ballot. It was a divided court ruling, but they ruled 4-3 majority that Trump is ineligible to run for the presidency under the U.S. Constitution's insurrection clause, arguing that his actions fueled the deadly January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol by protesters aiming to disrupt congressional certification of President Biden's 2020 election victory. I was kind of kidding yesterday on the air. Well, now Trump's GOP primary percentage of the vote will jump to 90%. Because it seemed like, and Byron York at the Washington Examiner was tracking this, that with each indictment, Trump's numbers were actually going up, not retreating in the other direction. So what's the political fallout of this latest deal? Now, there have been several states that have tried to do the same thing, looked into doing the same thing that Colorado did, and decided, no, it's weak, not going to happen. I think Michigan was one. I think Minnesota was the other state. California, though, now, after the ruling by the Colorado Supreme Court, they're beginning to look at perhaps deliberating on this themselves. We have with us a political commentator who writes about foreign policy, American culture. He's contributed to The Hill, USA Today, The Spectator, Washington Examiner, and more. Please welcome to the program Juan Villasmil. Mr. Villasmil, am I pronouncing that last name correctly, sir?
That's fine. That's fine. You can say Villasmil if you want. You can call me JP.
JT?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Well, JT, welcome to the program. Nice to have you with us.
It's awesome to be here.
Am I right here? Trump's only going to get more popular as a result. Is it your view that this is the case after this Colorado Supreme Court ruling? Did the Supreme Court there go too far?
Yes, it's definitely the case. So what we're seeing is that the candidates that are running against Trump, although they're pretty far in the polls, they have to unite behind him because there's no other thing they can do. The only one who's not making a forceful anti-Colorado ruling statement is Chris Christie, who's irrelevant in this race.
Yeah.
But we've seen both Governor former Ambassador Haley, Governor DeSantis, Vivek Ramaswamy, all come out and defend Trump because there's really nothing else they can do. If they don't do it, then the base is going to hate them even more. So it's politically the only option that they have, and it's also politically the option that most benefits Trump. That's one of the things that has always worked for Trump, and for some reason Democrats don't get it yet. If you attack someone consistently, people are going to start questioning, why are you attacking him? Why are you attacking him? Mm-hmm. And in this case, the attack is so insane that, I don't know, at least for me, when I saw it, I was like, why are they trying to do this? Why now? Well, I think normal people around the country are asking themselves that question now.
Well, he hadn't been convicted of anything. I mean, he wasn't even accused of insurrection, wasn't charged with that when Jack Smith released his charges against Trump on what happened January 6th. So they're disqualifying Trump based on an accusation. Now, a state court judge blessed the accusation, but it's not an actual conviction, and that's I think, where it is dangerous. And you have some on the left, like the Washington Post editorial page, that are speaking out on this, that it was just going a bit too far in the ruling against Trump. But this is a dangerous precedent, isn't it? To where now some Republicans may take a look at, well, all right, can we keep President Biden off the ballot? So this is the possibility for abuse here is ample.
Yeah, it is. It's ample, more ample than ever before.
Yeah.
Like, let's remember, they're using a provision that's a post-Civil War provision that hasn't been used for years, more than two centuries, almost 2 centuries now. Like, it's not normal. This has only been used one time before to disqualify someone from running for office, well, actually from holding office, and there was someone who was actually at the Capitol. So whatever we think about that, we can put that aside. Was Trump at the Capitol? Did Trump tell people, go inside? He didn't. So even if you're super anti-January 6th and you think that it was almost as worse as 9/11. If you're one of those, if you're not okay in that, and you argue like that, even those people are not correct. Like, there are no solid arguments to call Trump an insurrectionist. There just are not. So for all the Democrats' defense of our democracy and how Republicans are fascist, this is the most fascistic thing that I've seen my whole lifetime. And I'm just 22, but I've never seen something so close to fascism, and it's coming from the lovers of democracy.
I don't understand from a political standpoint. I thought the Democrats wanted Trump on the ballot, that he was going to be the guy, the easiest guy on the Republican side for Biden to beat. Are they perhaps changing their tune because there are an increasing number of polls that show that Biden is actually losing to Trump?
Yeah, well, that's what they say, but you know, at the end of it all, they hate Trump more than they think. So even if they have a sophisticated argument for why, actually, we pick another candidate like Nikki Haley, it's more likely the Republicans will win because this percentage and that percentage. Let's be honest. If you go to college in the U.S. like I did, if you worked on the Hill and you know congressional staffers that are left-leaning, they hate Donald Trump more than they love themselves sometimes.
Well, I think too. The hate's
so
bad
deep.
too, but I also think, JT, that there may be too some people trying to make a name for themselves. You know, I'm going to be the guy that brings down Trump. We're seeing this a bit, I think, in Bragg up in New York, who campaigned on Bragg he was going to get Trump. I think sometimes this is seen as career making, even though some Democrats again might be more comfortable with Trump on the ballot, thinking he's more beatable than Haley or DeSantis or somebody else that the Republicans might put on the ballot. Because there's a lot of that goes on in D.C., don't you see? You see that, don't you? People who might step away from whatever ideology or whatever else their party's doing because they want to make a name for themselves.
No, definitely. That's 100% true. So Trump is number one prize. Like, whoever gets Trump charged in prison, if you get Trump to wear an orange jumpsuit, for the Democrats, you're going to be remembered as a hero.
Yeah.
Like, that's going to be George Washington levels heroism for them. So everyone's trying their best to get him, but they can't do it. They don't have good arguments yet. So it's going to continue to be fun to watch, but at the same time, very depressing.
Yeah, and unprecedented, because who knows how a court case, and some of these court cases are scheduled to begin next spring against Trump, how an actual court case with actual testimony and prosecutors presenting their evidence, how that'll impact the primary remains to be seen. Juan, I appreciate your time today. Thank you, sir, and Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas. Thank you for having me.
JT